So, moving on to task 5, working with the YMCA, we're looking at an emergency plan for the YMCA. We're going to first talk about what signals we're going to use, so how we're going to relay information with the EMS. So the first thing that you would need to do is make sure that the front desk is notified. The front desk will have all the information on where EMS should actually enter the building from, where their best points are to get to where they're looking at. Make sure that whenever that information is related to EMS, that on the maps that are at the front desk, that they actually know exactly where the individual that's been hurt is and where they're located at. What else are we missing? Yeah, just making sure that the front desk knows where they're at, and if because it's a heat-related issue, if they're moved, say they want to be taken or they need to be taken over to the ice baths or up to the shower, that information needs to be relayed right away so that EMS isn't sent to the wrong direction by the front desk personnel. Moving over to information that actually needs to be shared with EMS, we're going to make sure that we talk about that we believe it is a heat-related situation because of the symptoms that they've exhibited. Make sure we're discussing the symptoms. Try and make sure that we let them know what circumstances led to it. Were they on the court for an hour? Did they just get out there? Were they really sprinting for the last 10 minutes? Like, what kind of got them to the situation they're at now? If we know the levels of hydration that they're at, make sure that we're relaying. Well, they just had a little bit of water, or they weren't drinking anything, or there's their Gatorade still full, etc., etc. We're going to make sure that we inform EMS of any treatment provided. We put ice packs in the groin and their armpits. We put them in the shower. We put them in the ice bath. Whatever kind of treatment was given, if there's any medication that was given, make sure that that's all written down so that information is directly given to the EMS so that they know exactly how much of what was given. For communication for that, there shouldn't be too much more that we need to relay, because they should be able to kind of take care of all that once they're everything once they arrive, because it's relatively hands off after we start cooling them down. But moving on to where they'll be taken, they're likely going to be taken to Trinity, obviously, with our situation where there's not a lot else in the area, and it's unlikely that they're going to be sent down to Bismarck for whatever reason, but we will confirm whenever we speak with EMS what this situation will look like, and then whenever we relay that information, we'll talk to their family, their friends or relatives, anybody that's kind of associated with them. We'll let them know that this is roughly where they're going, this is when they left, and this is kind of how to get there. It's pretty easy, especially the YMCA being so close. All right, looking at our task 5 for the YMCA, thinking about a spinal injury. So first thing we're going to look at is what signals to give for a spinal injury. We're going to make sure that we communicate wherever the injury is. Whoever comes up on this first, they get to the front desk, and they say, after 911 is contacted, they get to the front desk and they say, hey, this is exactly where we're at. There's maps there that can indicate exactly the location on what court, and where on the track, exactly where the person is, and say, hey, this is where they are, this is where they're gonna be, this is where EMS needs to be. So using the front desk is kind of the relay signals, and the front desk obviously will know when EMT get there, as well as what doors are going to be able to come in and what routes they'll be able to use to get through the building. So the front desk should actually have a lot more information other than maybe somebody that happens to be moving through the halls that sees an incident. That's kind of the main signaling, is first communicating with 911 and then speaking with the front desk. Talking about what needs to be given to EMS, what information needs to be given to EMS. We're going to make sure to indicate that we believe it's a spinal injury. We're going to give whatever information, why, well, they were tackled, well, they dropped something on themselves, they fell. We discuss any symptoms that we are aware of, tingling, the person says that this is the way they feel, or maybe they lost consciousness, whatever information was given to indicate, oh, we think this is a spinal injury. And then continue to make sure that any information that, if we treated them, like say someone gave them ibuprofen or Tylenol, any medications that were given, make sure all of that information is given to EMS, because little things matter, especially whenever it comes to like Tylenol, or they were rolled over, or any little things like that. So make sure to really kind of describe all the situation that you're aware of. and give that to EMS. Where they're actually going to, it's probable that they'll go to Trinity, but in the event of a medevac, make sure to verify that, oh, they're going to take them straight to Bismarck, they're going to take them to Fargo, or wherever they're going to take them immediately, and try and make sure that you have enough information so that if you are in contact with a spouse or a relative or anybody, that you can give as much information as you can on when they left and where they will be headed, because with an injury involving the spine, really there's no telling how they're going to want to treat it right away. So just gather as much information as you can, and then hopefully give that information to anybody that might need that information. I think that about covers it.